let's talk about the Grammys.
Ooh.
All right.
The big one was for Album of the Year, right?
Well, yeah.
And the Grammy
Album of the
goes
Year,
to-
not to be confused with Record of the Year.
What's the difference anyway?
I want to say that record is
Like a
something
single?
that- it can be a single or it can be an album, is what I'm assuming. Like
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
one of those things. I'm not sure exactly.
Yeah,
I
but
saw
still
that.
an album of the year. Not record of the year is just one song.
It can be.
Can be. Okay.
Either or. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, okay.
Well, anyways, let's see. This is already a contentious thing right here.
Why?
The passing of
You
the
can read it.
Oh, why? Because he doesn't want to read it.
Harry Styles.
Harry Potter Styles. She's like, oh, he reminds me of my grandson. I like him so much.
Harry Stylinson, everybody.
It's got all those rings.
Yeah, got them rings.
Styling.
Yeah, so I know his speech. People were like a little contentious about it, but
my life, I listened to everyone in this category.
he sounds very humble.
Alone, and,
Yeah. He kept it pretty humble.
Yeah,
his
I
respects.
didn't think he was like,
think
I'm the
on nights
best,
like
I'm the
tonight, it's
shit,
obviously
and like he could have
so
been.
important
Oh, yeah.
for us to remember that
yeah, see,
there is
right
no
here.
such thing as best in music.
I mean, that's cool. I mean, but
don't
yeah,
think
saying
any
it
of
as
us
the
sit in
one who won
studio
the best,
thinking-
I mean,
Making
It's not a
decisions based on
competition.
what this is
yeah,
gonna get
even
us
though he
to
won the
release.
competition, but
This
I
is
mean, I guess
really,
you take it
really
with a grain of
kind.
salt, but at
I'm
least that's what he
so
chose to say.
grateful. I'm gonna pass
It's like
it
the
over
first
to
place
my
runner going, it's not about
collaborators
coming
who
in
are-
first, it's about finishing the
I'm
race,
just
you know?
so
Yeah, it's kind of the same thing as
this doesn't
that.
happen
Yeah,
to people
I
like
feel
me
that.
very
I feel
often,
that too.
and this
But
is
really quick, look, this
so
was
nice.
something
Thank
that
you
really
very,
was
very much.
contentious in terms of his speech.
And I'm so grateful. I'm gonna pass it over to my collaborators who are. I'm just so. This doesn't happen to people like me very often, and this is so.
Yeah,
nice.
so I
Thank
guess
you very,
people
very
saying that,
much.
of course, they take on a racial context for which he said that, and
Yes,
saying,
that
hey,
is-
hey, you're a
look,
white
yeah.
dude, white dudes always win everything. But I
I'm just
think
gonna keep it
also
short
that
'cause
trying to
Harry's
learn
way
more
more-
about the speech that.
Yeah,
I-
but
I
where's
could
he
see
from?
that.
How do they know where he's from? How do they know his background? How do they know how
Right.
he grew up?
I mean,
Something that I read from a really
He's
great.
definitely a little English lad.
Yeah,
I can
some-
see why people think that, but when I saw it live in the moment, I didn't get that vibe. I didn't feel that.
Yeah,
No, yeah, I don't think that's what he was trying to say.
yeah.
Yeah, I think that this Vulture article on sort of why Harry Styles, how he beat Beyonce, which everyone thought her Renaissance album was gonna really, take the cake, especially after her taking the title of the winningest artist, right, for the Grammys, I believe.
Mhm.
So kind of like, hey, you won that accolade, and okay, of course she's gonna win album of the year, but she didn't. And so this Vulture album kind of just this article goes on to kind of just speak about some of the aesthetic choices of the album, but then also sort of talks about how people were hating on him.
Well, I
But-
think didn't you say earlier, like, just because she makes an album, that doesn't mean that she should win? Somebody was saying that. I forgot which one of you said that. I'm sorry.
Jesse, I think that
Oh,
you
yeah,
were
yeah.
saying that, right, Jesse?
Well, yeah.
I mean, and I agree with you. I mean, I'm just saying, I haven't even listened to her album, so I can't speak on it.
yeah, I mean, there's a lot of, okay, so there's a good barometer right there,
Yeah.
in terms of songs that I have heard over the past year, just in general, whether at the store or on the radio. Harry's album has been everywhere.
Oh, yeah, I've
Yeah,
heard it a
totally.
lot. Yeah. mhm.
So-
Looking at the song list, I know that As It Was is like a huge radio banger right now.
Oh, yeah.
And
Yeah.
and in general, I was giving the two albums a listen. And this album definitely has like a very much less like dramatic and grandiose presentation compared to Renaissance. Renaissance, it just sounds really big. There's a lot of compositional heads in on it.
Yeah, it's just
A
epic.
lot of production
Yeah.
work in on it. Not that Harry's house doesn't have that, but
Right.
it,
Well, funny enough, if you look at his album before this, Fine Line is actually a little bit, in my opinion, a little bit more substantial than this one.
yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised that it didn't get as much recognition as it should have. I mean, it did get a lot of recognition, but Fine Line was a phenomenal album.
Yeah. Now admittedly, Harry Styles, I don't listen to him in general, but
I don't listen to
Same.
him.
but I know that I've heard his stuff, and then and really trying to think about trying to think about just how to compare the two.
Right.
It was nice
Yeah.
to give it a listen.
I definitely bought this album. I
Yeah?
have it
Oh,
on
you-
vinyl. Like I was never a One Direction guy. I never liked any of their music really, but I heard a couple of his songs on the radio and I went, this is actually good
And so
music. I'll
apparently,
go out and buy it, and I
and-
bought it on vinyl, and I enjoyed it. But
and apparently that was the angle for the the context for his statement of, guys like me don't usually win these. In the context was that coming from like a boy band, right, and then
right,
venturing out to his own. Hey, usually we don't get that sort of recognition like we did when we did our breakout performances with the group, right?
Sure.
And so,
Yeah.
but still, of course, people add the context that they want. But it was very nice to learn that he has a really big stake in the composition, the creation, the production
Right
of
on.
his
Yeah.
albums. He writes the lyrics. He plays guitar, so he's doing the guitars. From my understanding, really coming up with a lot of the musical elements and the production. And I know that his production team was one of the smallest ones of like the winning artists
Right.
throughout the
You got
Grammys.
it done.
And yeah, definitely compared to Beyonce, she has a really big lineup of composers,
Ghostwriters.
producers. Yeah, ghostwriters along with her. I mean, she still has an involvement with it, but that is definitely a big difference. And
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think it makes it inherently like a better or worse album when you have more or less producers, but it's just a different sound. Yeah, I thought Beyonce's again was a lot more like very, very production wise, very heavy, very intense. I mean, I was listening to the album. I love the harmonies on the album. She taps into a couple different stuff like some house beat, some
Right.
some Afro Cubanish kind of
she
stuff.
came under
you know.
fire for this shit. Can you pull up Azalea Banks' comments from last year? Because she kind of called her out,
Azalea Banks,
kind of saying like, "Hey,
Beyonce.
you stole our thunder,"
Stealing. I'll just say stealing. Azalea. I knew I was going to spell it wrong, but so according to XXL, the rapper accused Bey of erasing her undeniable contributions to house music. Azalea also accused her of stealing from "Show Me Love," a singer Robin S., whose song is sampled on "Break My Soul," which is definitely one of the. I mean, there's a lot of big tunes on her Renaissance album, but I know
Right.
that's
That was the big,
that's one that
was
I've
the
heard.
big.
Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause
Right.
that one won one of the categories. I can't remember what it was, but
Yeah. So, so Azalea was known for a flawless flow over 90s inspired house beats, went off on IG. So, yeah, kind of saying like, hey, here you are stealing other people's thunder. You're the big dog, so to speak. So,
Right.
of
to
course,
take it with
you
a
get
grain
the
of salt,
spotlight.
because Azalea Banks is a shit starter in general. She likes to comment on everything all the
Yeah,
fucking time. So
Yeah, can't escape that cheese man.
I love
You
it.
can't
That
escape
clout.
the cheese me.
It's unescapable.
Yeah,
Unescapable.
but
So I wanted to inject a little bit of criticism because it has always been my opinion that Beyonce is a very, very talented singer. She's a very talented performer. I mean, shit, her tour sold out immediately. I mean,
Yeah.
they can't add enough dates to fill
Oh,
in for
yeah.
that. But, I do think she's overrated. That's my honest opinion.
That
I
can
think
be.
that
I don't
between
know.
all this, okay, so here's a good example. Jay-Z went out of his way to talk about how like the Grammys missed the moment was his phraseology for it, and he picked out particularly when Lemonade lost the last time, or it was like 2016 or
yeah,
whatever.
I heard that. I think 4 of her albums lost. They got nominated for album of the year and they lost it. 4 of them.
Right,
So I
right.
guess that was another one.
It's a fucking honor to be nominated anyway.
Right.
Keep in mind, everybody's already giving you props for your album, but literally, Beck won that category that year. He wrote, arranged, produced, and recorded that whole fucking album himself. And you had everybody talking about how, well, he really just didn't deserve it in that moment. It really should have gotten given to, Beyonce. And it's
Yeah.
like, well, what is the merit there?
Yeah, I mean,
I-
what is
and
the
then
if you're
metric of
talking
which?
about-
What is the metric
Here's
in
the
which
whole
you're
thing.
making that assessment?
good
right?
argument.
So where it goes is dependent on how you see the Grammys, because the Grammys are hit and miss. They've always been fluff and substance in one, and you can't always get it right when it comes to putting everybody's opinions together on music. You can't make that kind of decision on commission and expect everybody to agree. Obviously, Beyonce stans are going to be out of their fucking minds because she lost.
Yeah, and to that thing, to the point of like Grammys are always hit and miss. I mean, there's so many categories that I think it's easy for both things to happen. I was thinking of the person Samara Joy who won Best New Artist,
Right.
and she's a jazz vocalist, right? And so that was like a really cool thing. And I listened to to some of her stuff, and it's really awesome. Really is tapped into the jazz vocalist tradition.
Yeah.
And has some great renditions of classic tunes. She has a rendition of Stardust that's just like super awesome. Oh
Yeah.
my god.
Gotta check that out.
There's a great
Mhm.
guitarist on it too. It's like Pascual Grosso or something like that. Just
I wish we could play it, but yeah.
That list of new artists was decent.
Yeah,
Omar
yeah.
Apollo is another one who is someone to watch. He's very,
Yeah.
very talented.
Yeah, even Domi and JD Beck. It's like a drum
Yeah.
keyboard
Mhm.
duo, and they do a bunch of instrumental music that's just really
Yeah.
jazz, hip hop infused, and just super awesome, super high energy.
Don't fucking Maneskin is don't even bring that shit up.
Yeah, but I guess so. Yeah, to say such a big thing that it makes sense that there's parts of it that are flops and hits, but again, kind of to Harry Styles' thing, like what is the metric for? I mean, when we start creating a competition for art, I really
Yeah.
do
That's
think
what
it
I was
takes
gonna
away.
say.
Right.
It's like just because a song or a record or whatever wins, that doesn't mean it's the best.
Yeah, you
Right.
can't
Yeah.
really measure the value of
Yeah,
art.
you
because
can't
it's
really
just
measure it that
Yeah.
an
way.
opinion that everyone else
It's
is
not
gonna have a
sports.
different reaction
Yeah,
to.
Right.
yeah. And again, like Harry
It's
Styles,
not really a competition.
Harry Styles thing, I
Yeah.
thought was really awesome. Tapped into a nice 80s like synth, pop synth sort of. Even some of the drum sounds in there totally just brought me back
Yeah.
to like 80s Genesis,
I
like
dig it.
Yeah,
like
for sure. The
drum
gated
machines.
reverb,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah, and yeah, solid,
What
solid
do you know
guitar.
about Genesis?
I try to learn more because
The
there's a
lonely
lot.
man on the corner, bro.
Yeah, but so and
good.
this was something that the Vulture album brought up was that it seems as though the Grammys lately have been really into like the throwback vibes, so
Sure.
so thinking about
Not enough to fucking nominate Maneskin, thank God.
Yeah, but thinking about sort of how okay, so Harry Styles won, and then I think in 2017 Bruno Mars won,
With
20
Anderson .Paak, Silk
yeah.
Sonic.
Yeah. with so
Yeah.
recently
Last
as well.
year.
Oh yeah. Even more recent. Yeah, so
Super groovy.
so
Yeah.
it's been a trend that has been I see as consistent. So for people to say, "Oh, it was robbed," I think it's hard to say. I mean,
And it's
yeah,
like-
that
it's-
her album was nominated. I think I acknowledge it.
yeah, it's
Well,
not.
she
It's not just
also
the
got-
Grammys.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Sorry. So, but she got best dance electronic music album and recording. So she didn't lose any thing in my opinion. She still won. That's what she made. She made a good dance album. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
sometimes the metric for that doesn't cross over into the pop album. I
right.
mean,
And there's
how
other,
many Grammys
You mean she doesn't speak
did the
to your
Beatles
soul?
win?
Yeah,
How many did Pink Floyd win?
Oh yeah.
true.
One, maybe. Fucking
Not
Jay-Z's got
enough.
24, and he's out here talking about how there's not how many does Jay-Z need? 25 fucking Grammys for what?
Yeah,
Like,
it's,
what's the point?
it's not just the Grammys that and other people that are not recognized. It's, for example, like the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame
Right.
has
Yeah.
also not recognized many artists that
Yeah.
have deserved it, and some
they
feel that people that have made it maybe haven't deserved it as much.
And they struggle with the same shit where they have, it's like, it's a duality. Rush faced this issue. It's like, okay, well, do you want to be recognized by the people you never wanted recognition from to begin with?
Yeah.
Like, maybe not. But then on top of it, a lot of the fans have a lot to do with this kind of stuff. So that was their idea was, well, the fans want it. We should be nominated. We deserve it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Not to deserve it, but like 30 years ago, these guys were eligible. Iron Maiden, for fuck's sake. What is going on
I
here?
guess there's not enough Maiden fans that want to get on their dial-up connections. AOL. They're like,
Yeah.
why can't I log in the internet? This America Online.
one of my
is-
favorite bands of all time, and they
Yeah.
definitely have worldwide recognition.
Shut up.
up.
Oh yeah, worldwide. Well, me or Joaquin?
You.
Damn. Yeah, you said you
You.
shut up, Joaquin.
No,
Damn.
not Joaquin,
You punk ass.
you.
You punk ass.
There's a-
Yeah, Joaquin. When are you
No,
gonna let me?
You don't know, Paul.
Hey, what I do know is, Maiden is one of the biggest. I feel like they were like a big start for arena rock. What is arena rock other than when you go on tour, you sell out fucking arenas? And Maiden
Right.
has done that like globally for a long ass time.
Consistently for
Consistent.
decades.
You know,
And
so
not
much
just
that,
they
and,
sell albums
yeah.
still.
And,
Yep.
and Bruce Dickinson,
But
right,
wait,
having to
wait.
fly
Look
their
what
own,
it
their own flights, right?
Yep.
Because they're like, hey, man, no one does it better than yours truly, and we do it often enough,
See,
right? So
They write their own songs and they fly the fucking plane themselves.
Yeah,
Now
but-
that's
A true
Come on now.
Renaissance man.
Yeah, it says. Look what it says. It's trailing Cyndi Lauper, not
big rock
rock.
and roller,
George Michael, not rock. Soundgarden,
rock.
Warren Z.
I don't even know who
I
Zevon
don't know who
is.
that is.
Zevon
And then
is.
Willie
Werewolves of
Nelson
London.
Country.
Ooh, Werewolves of
Oh,
London.
he's good. That's rock.
Mm.
Okay. Yeah, he's
Lawyers
good.
in Love.
Yeah, he has
No.
some good songs,
I
but
ain't never
he's not
seen
better
no
than,
werewolves
He's
rocking.
not
Jackson
better
Brown.
than Maiden.
Yeah.
Maiden
Willie-
has so many
Willie
songs,
Nelson's better than
so
Maiden?
many albums.
I don't know. I wouldn't know his
Yeah.
stuff.
You don't know Willie Nelson?
I know
What?
I know his hits. I don't
Crazy
know.
for feeling so lonely.
Yeah, I know his hits. I
Like-
don't. But I feel like that would be disrespectful to say that I know all his stuff.
Well, I think it's comparing, or apples and oranges because
Oh, yeah.
right, Maiden to, and that's the thing. Rock is it's such a big spectrum, it's
Right.
such a big like sort of blanket genre, and to really do justice, I guess it's nice to talk about the nuances within it. But I mean, at the end of the day, okay, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, I guess work with the blanket.
I wonder
term,
how
but-
many heavy metal bands are actually in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Not very many. You'd
Yeah.
be surprised, dude. Like, I mean, Deep Purple barely made it.
I want to see a
Sabbath
list. I want to
barely
see a
made
list.
it,
Rock
you
and
know?
Roll Hall of Famers, right?
Well-
Inductees A to Z. All right.
all right.
Let's
Shit,
take
we're
a
gonna go
look at
through
this.
all
Alright.
of them looking for them.
How to, yeah.
Holy shit!
Ooh, okay. Well, you know what? We can do a search. Who are we looking for? Like Metallica? I bet. Do we have them? Oh, it's not gonna come up.
Go search.
No, you
go
gotta
up top.
search it.
They have a search in the.
Oh,
in the
okay.
actual thing.
Oh, awesome. Oh, search by name. Okay,
Yeah.
cool. That makes sense. Okay, Metallica. Let's see.
Man, they suck.
Oh yeah.
Nah, I'm just
two results.
kidding.
Wait, there's two Metallicas?
No,
No, they got in
Metallica
for
Light.
Metallica Light. Okay. Who else? Okay. Black
Sabbath.
Sabbath. Yeah, Black Sabbath.
They are.
There,
definitely.
Yeah, Black
Sure.
Sabbath. Yeah, I remember within the last decade, right? For sure. I thought.
Maybe more.
Yeah.
Probably around the same time.
Yeah. Okay. So let me see. Black Sabbath. Let's see. Okay. What year was that?
2006.
There's two Black Sabbaths again.
No,
Damn,
This was
that's
their
crazy.
reunion tour.
Nice.
When
Ozzy,
Ozzy came
is
back.
in there.
Ozzy's in there by himself too.
Yep.
Oh man.
I believe so.
Crazy.
Speaking of Ozzy, man, dude, did you hear that he's gonna
Oh, maybe
refund
not.
people? He's gonna refund people tickets for his upcoming tour.
Okay, so there's
because-
another side note.
Yeah.
Right there. Ozzy Osbourne should be in the Metal Hall of Fame
Totally.
and the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah,
That guy
icon.
to be in Sabbath and then go solo and do the shit that he did solo.
Yeah, to do
yeah.
what Harry
Mhm.
Styles said he's been struggling to do.
right.
Who else?
Ozzy
What other? Oh,
Styles.
I bet you Def Leppard. Is it 1F or 2F? Right?
Yeah, I think they got inducted last year or 2 years ago.
Def. Oh, Def Leppard. There we
19.
go.
Judas Priest is in.
Judas Priest
4
is.
years ago.
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah. Cool.
Judas Priest just got in there last year, I think.
Is
They're still
Megadeth?
touring.
Megadeth's not in there, dude. I bet you.
mean Megadeth's not in the Hall of
They
Fame?
was Stain.
Metallica's in there and I'm not?
Shut up.
Dude, honestly, I like
Zero results found.
I like now especially as a more seasoned, I guess, lover of music. Does had more years, but man, Megadeth, man, they're awesome. I definitely love like the breadth and the scope of their discography way more than Metallica's. Like for me, after
feel that.
Black Album, Metallica doesn't cut it for me, but Megadeth, they pretty much have always cut it for me.
Wang.
It
through the
It's
streets.
intense music for sure.
Yeah. So, anyways, so okay, so it's a pretty.
ABBA, baby.
It's
They
a
rock
pretty,
hard,
It's
baby.
a pretty
ABBA
contentious
rocks
list,
so
you know?
hard.
Yeah.
Fucking A, bro.
Still at it.
So, anyways, I guess
They had a new album too, I think, in the Grammys.
Oh yeah.
ABBA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. They were in the categories
Yeah,
here.
they're nominated.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, for
Awesome.
sure.
Blondie.
It's just hard
So,
to.
see, there's a lot of good rock and roll artists that are in there, and there's a lot of
Who,
them that
Clapton?
aren't. You know
Charlie
how-
Christian's a rock and roll. I guess so.
Well, because
early
they
influencer. It says.
Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah.
they put you in as an influencer category, and that's why I get like
Awesome.
Yeah.
Dolly Parton is in there as being associated. There's a big branch, and rock and roll covers all these different things, and country and R&B and all of these. It's true.
Yeah.
There's a lot of overlap.
Broad genre.
Yeah, because like I saw James Brown in there. He's not the grandfather of rock. He's the godfather of
Michael
of-
Jackson's probably in there, right?
funk,
Madonna
right?
is.
Marvin Gaye, Foo Fighters.
So
A lot of variety.
but
How-
I guess
how do you-
for me
I
it
don't
just
get
it just for me is a reminder that when you try to create a competition or you try to create a hierarchy within the arts, we get away from the essence
Jimmy.
of it, the true
I
essence
agree.
of it. But I guess it's a nice thing to talk about, and I'm sure
Right.
it makes people.
this is
It's
also-
cool to have debates and stuff.
So this
like
is
that,
the
but as long
overlap,
as you
though,
limit
is
to
this
that.
idea of there are people who should be there, and then there are people who are like, well, you
Big
know,
rock and
kinda
roller
just,
right here. Hell yeah.
Yeah, like I mean,
You don't
in
know.
the Pop Music Hall of Fame, yes,
Yeah.
you
Totally.
know, popular music, not just pop.
Is
music.
there Pop Music Hall of Fame?
There probably is. I don't
Yeah.
know why there wouldn't be.
Yeah.
There's a
Yeah.
fucking Rock and Roll Hall of Fame.
Yeah, totally.
It's a lot of surprisingly
Queen.
more recent bands in here,
yeah,
more
totally.
recent artists.
Radiohead.
Yeah, I mean, look, Rush. Here's a good compound issue for you. Rush was nominated every time they made an instrumental for the Grammys. Every time they made an instrumental, they were nominated for a Grammy, and they lost.
Wow.
And
Tupac,
like
fat rock and
more
roller.
often than not, it was to somebody who
Tupac rocks hard, bro. What are you
deserved-
talking
Yeah.
about?
Yeah.
deserved to get the award, not the who like really earned it,
Dude, Tupac rocks
like
so
by
hard.
virtue of making the
Oh,
great
is the
song.
Who in it? Is the Who in here? Speaking of which, oh yeah,
Of course they are, yeah.
Hell yeah, hell
They
yeah.
went in our birth year.
Yes,
Yep.
awesome. Yes.
No.
No. Now all we need is King Crimson, and then I can die happy. In terms of the
Yeah,
Rock and
where
Roll
the
Hall
hell
of
is
Fame.
Crimson, man?
All right.
Don't say that, because then
That's-
don't. No. What if they get in next year?
They
the
will-
most underrated
No.
band.
They will get in, and I will live till 150. Don't worry. We'll get to
Right.
enjoy the best of both worlds. Don't worry.
Okay.
Craig.
Well, you get to that part
Don't
where
worry.
like it's almost like I can't remember which one of the Marx brothers was like, I wouldn't want to be a part of any club that would have me as one of their members.
I think that was
You know?
Jimmy Marks. I think no, or
Jimmy
Jonathan Marks.
Oh right, yeah. makes the Marx.
make a Merkel Marks.
Maker Mark.
One of the marks.
Yeah. Anyways, friends, I think at the end of the day, let's live and let live, right? We can all have our tastes.
I would prefer
And-
to live and let die.
Ooh.
Live and let
Ba-bum. Yeah, but I mean, okay, fine.
No, I'm
the-
just kidding.
And musically, live and let die, but
Yeah. Yeah.
also live and let live. I don't know. Paul missed an opportunity to do a dual hit thing right there,
Right.
but
And hang in there, Beyonce. One of these days you'll get credit for doing something, man. You just never get any credit for anything.
yeah. Let's continue just gassing each other up. There's enough room to elevate and be elevated, right? So,
True that.
all right, stay frosty, folks.